would you both like to kick in and share a little bit about the implications of the gut microbes beyond the gut?
Sure. I'll kick it off, and then Reagan can talk the cool stuff that she's been working on. So I mentioned earlier, the gut microbes are actually in communication with your body. So they can send signals to your brain. They can send signals to other areas of the body and have a big impact there. So it's not just that they're there and eating those fiber sources. We now know that they have a much bigger role, and Reagan's really started showing that with her research.
So some people, in fact, call the gut your second brain. There's that bi-directional communication going on constantly. So there really is something to that old adage, I have a gut feeling, because what's going on in your gut actually is influencing your feelings and vice versa. So if you've ever found yourself very stressed, you might have had a visceral response, and then that might have resulted in some digestive upset. By the same token, what we're feeding into our gut and those microbes are releasing neurotransmitters. They're everything that we're feeding our bodies are the precursors for everything that's going on to send up those chemical signals to the brain. And there's a direct connection there, as Brittany mentioned, through the vagus nerve. So the entire enteric nervous system in your gut is innervated, and that signal can go straight up to your brainstem via the vagus nerve. So that's what we've tapped into with our research to understand how feeding different probiotics can actually influence behavior.
That pattern that you're describing, that relationship between the gut and the brain, is called the gut-brain axis, right?
Right.
Okay, so if we hear about the gut-brain axis, that's exactly what we're hearing
Right,
about.
it's that constant bidirectional communication between your gut and your brain.
Okay. How does this reaction work? We know about the brain reaching the gut, but how does the gut reach the brain? How does it communicate with the brain?
So there's actually a lot of different mechanisms, and so it's hard to point to the specific one that we, in fact, have been targeting, because everything we do is very non-invasive. And so we're just using proxy measures to look for the differences that we're seeing there. But we know that these microbes are producing different neurotransmitters, and they're actually tapping in even directly through that communication. Also, your early microbiome can influence the structural formation in your brain, can influence receptor expression. There's all these things that the microbes are influencing from a very, very young age, essentially from birth throughout your lifetime. And so we're not yet sure the very specific mechanism we're tapping into, but it's probably a culmination of multiple things.